What is this wooden table about 20 by 40 centimeters and a peg-shaped figurine on one of the sides? One of the sides is rounded. It has some grooves. In the middle, there is a rounded metal piece. On the side opposite the rounded one, there is a metal figurine in the shape of a pig. It was found in a flea market in Spain. On the back, there is an inscription made in Spain Valenti. I am really curious about what is the purpose of this object. It's a wooden table or tray for the presentation of sausages. It can be hung as decoration, and it has a magnet in its central part to place the cutting knife. What is this small glass vessel with a handle and hollow tube that is closed on one end? I found it at Goodwill. The staff had no clue. Our best bet is either a jam jar or an ashtray and snuffer. No markings. Any ideas? It's a sugar cube server. Originally there would have been a small pair of tongs that would have stood up in the little attached cup. What are these pockets on the lower back of my jacket? It goes all the way through. I don't think further details are necessary. I found the product site and gathered some information. Fleece-lined jacket with one huge zipper at the back pocket. Can be for maps, flashlights, and more large things. The back pocket with two parallel zippers is designed for storage or as a tunnel of ventilation. What is this small hand tool? I can't describe it much. Looks like a wheel at one end and pincers on the other. Around 4 to 6 long. I found it in a junk shop my partner is working at. No luck with a Google search. It's an antique 1930s glass cutter, probably from Germany. The right end looks like it has a glass cutting wheel, and maybe the other end is to remove burrs when you snap the glass. What is this antique serving dish for? It's an antique serving dish I inherited years ago and gave to a friend. Could it be for something served that needs to drain? It has a removable base with holes. The lid has holes as well. I'm very sure that it's for butter. Butter dishes usually have a solid cover to keep contaminants out. Butter back in the day sweats whey in different temps. The holes at the bottom are to let that whey pool, but not spoil the butter. What is this solid iron? Probably 30 pounds, around 14 inches tall. Appears that it was once attached to a 2 inches shaft, secured by a square head bolt. Almost looks like a rotating counterbalance for an unknown piece of machinery. South Central Missouri in an area of 19th century ironworks. Interesting object, with no visible lettering, numbers or markings. It's an impact crusher hammerhead. They are the core component of a hammer crusher. The hammers are arranged and installed on the roller shaft of the crusher. What is this load on a truck trailer in Alaska, parked at a truck stop? It was an unusually long trailer. There were about 12 to 14 of these green boxes all in a row on the trailer. This was at a remote truck stop in Alaska. There is an alphanumeric number in welded metal on the side of the box, just above the red logo symbol GR928. It's a drill pipe cement head from Citadel Casing Solutions. It's used to pump cement downhole at high pressure through a drill pipe. Then launch a wiper plug to push it out of the pipe before it sets up. What is this red, white and blue plastic mesh ribbon? I found it on the road. The mesh is woven, so it is kinda stretchy. There is a plastic aglet-like thing on one end and an opening on the other. I don't even know how to begin to search for what this is. Looks like a rod cover for a fishing pole. Slip your rod in it to keep your line from getting a tangled mess. It can prevent annoying tangles in your fishing rod or vehicle. This device was seen in a 1960 ranch in North Carolina. One was seen on the main floor, as well as directly below in the basement next to the oil furnace. The wood it is mounted to is 2 by 6 inches of dimensional lumber. Looks like the middle disc spins and is attached to an air horn of some sort, which has a canister you can see on the bottom of the right side, as well as a bird I couldn't find a match for. It's a 1960 automatic fire detector. It sounds like a very loud air horn noise from the canister. Placed in attics, set off by heat. That disc in the middle deforms in heat, opening a valve for air horns. We had one in our house. What is this wooden club-looking thing? Made of a hard, heavy, dense wood, measuring 30.5 inches long and 3.5 inches wide at the base. Found at a thrift store that also had some mini model cannons that were being sold at the same time, leading me to believe that it could possibly be a cannon ramrod. Any ideas? It is used for making sauerkraut or pickled cabbage, called sauerkraut pounder. I found an iron pot in the woods in southern Indiana. The base is about 1 foot wide. The estimated age is 70 to 100 years. The material is possibly cast iron. The base is about 1 foot wide. What is it? It's a spittoon. I was raised around people who used snuff tobacco. My uncle has one in his house when I was younger. What is this thing? Probably a kitchen utensil. 2 sets of rolling circles from the 1950s. I got this in a yard sale of 1950s utensils. Wondering what its purpose is. It's a vintage spaghetti cutter. It has 2 sets of cutters. The 2 sets are offset to cut spaghetti with pasta. Must be made in England somewhere between 1920 to 1949. What are these 2 plungers connected by a wire and attached to the top of the vending machine in my dorm building? These appeared about a week ago when the card reader on the machine was malfunctioning. But at the time of taking the photo, it seems to still be doing so. No writing or logos on any part of the object as far as I can tell. These are antennas for the card reader. I guess the machine has a magnetic card reader. The card reader either bills a credit card or an account tied to the card bearer. What is this black metal thing? Around 20 inches long and opens when pulled instead of closing. It's heavy and looks like an ice block grabber or logging tool. There is an adjustment spring on one side. My grandparents have had this for years and never know what it is. It's a clamp for a drag saw. This was better known as a human-powered drag saw and designed by Marvin Smith in 1882. There's no one left to describe how well it worked in the woods in an all-day job. What are these thick glass pieces with rounded edges? They are heavy clear glass, absolutely no etching or other identifying marks. It would have been from the first half of the 20th century as the items it was found with belonged to my grandfather. Shorter ones are 10 inches long, and longer ones are 13 inches and ½ inch thick. Longer ones have straight sides, and shorter ones lean at an angle. They are boiler gauge glasses. It lets boiler operators visually determine the correct water level within the boiler. Some boilers have 2 gauge glasses to prevent breakage from causing a hazard to the operator. What is this 50 pounds antique rolling mixing tumbler thing with sealed door and no markings? I found this at a local estate sale here in Orlando. It seems like something used for polishing or burnishing things, maybe rocks or bullet casings. It is large, about 16 inches tall by 11 inches in diameter. It weighs about 54 pounds. Please tell us in the comments. Thanks for watching. Let's make life fun.